Hello and welcome back to Third Degree Food. I am Sam Caterer and this is the Third Degree Kitchen. It is Wednesday night, which means one thing, steak night. Been to the gym, worked out hard, and now it's time to reward ourselves with an incredible steak with chips and the most fantastic tomatoes you can get your lips around. Honestly, I'm going to show you how to make the perfect steak, perfect chips, and a great accompaniment. So let's get into it. We've got here a Maris Piper potato. It's a nice and big one. You don't want to spend ages peeling your potatoes. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut these into fries and get these soaking because you want to take out as much starch as possible. You don't want your chips to be stuck together. So you just cut them in about centimetre lengths, like so, and then just cut them into sort of chip shape. And we're going to let you soak in water for about 10 minutes or so whilst we get the rest of the dinner ready. Honestly, this is the best way to cook your steak, and you're going to learn it right here on Third Degree Food with me, Sam Caterer. So we're going to get our chips ready. A little bit sticky, as you can see. That's the starch. Okay, we're good to go on that front. And we're going to put them into a bowl. And then we're going to let them soak in some water, for, as I say, for about 10 minutes or so, just to get the starch out of the potato. And let them sit on the side. Cover them nicely with water. And then we're going to drain them off and then dry them in a nice fresh tea towel. Okay, so that brings us to our tomatoes. Now, the best tomatoes are obviously on the vine. They're nice and ripened, nice and sweet and very juicy indeed. So with these tomatoes, a little bit special accompaniment. They're going to have a little garlic topping with some olive oil and some sugar as well, and a little bit of thyme on the top as well. So here's our tomatoes. You're going to cut it straight down the middle. No messing around. And the next one. And we're going to put them on our roasting tray. Like so. And we're going to top them off with some pepper, first of all. And some Portuguese sea salt, which is my favourite. Generously apply the salt over the top. It just adds such a nice flavour to the tomatoes. We've got some fresh thyme here. You just want to sort of strip them off and put them on top of the tomato. Take all those little lovely bits of flavour. Just over the top there. Leave the twigs and sticks on there as well. It's all good. And we've got some fresh extra virgin olive oil just to top them off. Like so. So we're going to get the garlic, we're going to squeeze the garlic over the top of the tomatoes, explode it on top, like so. And just tap off the bits on there. Next garlic. Garlic is your friend with this. You want big flavours to go along with your steak. We've got a gorgeous fillet steak for tonight. Probably want one garlic clove per tomato. Like so. And then one more. Nice. Okay, there we go. And then you get your knife and you just spread the garlic over the top of the tomatoes. These are amazing, trust me. These are absolutely divine. If you watch my roast chicken video, you see I made some honey roast carrots with thyme. They are absolutely banging. These are the same. You need this for your steak. Okay, so they're nice and smeared over the top. And the final addition, we're just going to add some nice granulated sugar over the top. It's going to caramelize with that garlic. It's absolutely divine. Just add that liberally. And then we're going to pop them in the oven for about 25 minutes whilst we prepare our steak and get everything else ready. And they're going to slow cook at 175 degrees they'll be nice and relaxed and just absolutely busting with flavour. So let's get them in the oven. Okay, now it's time to prepare our steak. Very simple. With steak, less is more, as is with most foods really, to be honest. So we're going to go in with some pepper over the top. People say the pepper burns, but it all depends on how you cook it. So we're going to pretty much confit the steak in butter. As you can see here, I've got a massive knob of butter, which pretty much is all going to go into the steak. It's all flavour. Back in with the sea salt. Just pat that in there. And then we got some rosemary and some thyme and the other 2 bits of garlic, which we're going to put in the pan very shortly. Okay, so timing is pretty much everything with this meal. We got the tomatoes cooking in the oven nicely, very slowly, and we got our steak nicely seasoned. We'll put this to one side. Next thing we need to do is dry off our chips, because we're going to cook them 3 times. They're not triple cooked chips. We're not going to steam them. We're not going to boil them. We're literally going to drop them in the deep fat fryer 3 times at varying different temperatures. We're going to start them off at 150 degrees to get them going nicely, just to start cooking through the middle outwards. And then what we're going to do, we're going to turn the temperature up just to give them a little nice blast. And then finally, we're going to finish them off with 190 degrees to crisp up our chips beautifully. So what we need to do is drain off the water from our chips. Like so. We get a tea towel. And we just pour our chips onto the towel. And dab them off. Honestly, these are the best chips. Absolutely delicious to go with your steak or anything like that. Get them nice and dry, because you don't want any moisture in your deep fat fryer. That can be quite dangerous. Just give them a nice little dry there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the deep fat fry now and start them off for the first part of their cooking. So our fryer is on 150 degrees. We'll tip our chips in there and put the tea towel to one side. And then we're going to drop these for 3 minutes. Bang the lid on top and turn on the extractor. Whilst the chips are down for the first instalment of their cooking, let me take this opportunity to say thank you very much indeed for joining us here right on Third Degree Food. If you'd like to give us a little like and subscribe and smash that notification bell, that'd be most appreciated. Every little bit of help goes a very long way, and obviously you can catch us on all our social medias. ThirdDegreeFood.com is your destination. Right, the chips are just about ready to come up now. We've cooked them for 3 minutes and we need to cook them again 2 more times, again for 3 minutes each session. So I'm going to lift them up before they overcook, and then we're going to get back to the steak. That's exactly what you want right there. These chips have just started to cook through the middle. You can see that just on the top of the chips there. So we'll just raise them, give them a little cover, and let them sit there for a couple of minutes. So, as I was saying, butter is your best friend with steak. We want to pretty much confit the steak in the butter. So we're going to use quite a bit of butter. And we're also going to throw in some big flavours. We've got some garlic, we've got some rosemary, and we've got some thyme. So we're just going to chop our garlic just loosely, randomly, just like that. It's going to sit in the butter nicely, give it a nice little flavour. I'm going to take this over there with the rosemary and the thyme, and we're going to start them off with the butter. So we're going to put the heat on, and we're going to put a nice huge dollop of butter in the pan. Like I say, we've been to the gym, so it's all good. You can knock yourself out. So whilst the butter's melting, we're going to move it around the pan, and we're going to go in with our garlic, with the remainder of our thyme, and 2 lovely sprigs of rosemary. This is going to flavour the butter beautifully, so that when we baste our steak, it's just all good. Whilst the butter is melting and infusing with that garlic and thyme and rosemary, we're going to drop our chips for the second time for another 3-minute session. So we're going to turn up the chips to 170 and you get dropped. Drop it seasoning side down. Look at that beautiful steak. And whilst it's cooking on this side, we're going to go in with a little bit more pepper on the side that hasn't been seasoned. And over the top, we're going to put some more sauce on there. And just get that butter moving around the steak. Absolutely gorgeous. Because you want to colour the sides of the steak as well. And you can use your chip cooking time as a gauge for your steak. So you want to cook a steak that's about 1 inch thick or a decent sized wedge for about 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30 a side. So there's about 20 seconds left of the first turn of the steak. I'm going to go in a little bit more butter. We're going to lift up the chips, give them a little shake. As you can see, they're just starting to go golden with a slightly higher temperature. We're going to whack this temperature up to full whack now. Give that a little wipe down. And then we're going to turn our steak. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. So we want to get our bowl ready now for the chips. They've got one more drop to go, but once they're done, we want to tip them out into the bowl, drain them off with a bit of a kitchen towel, and then give them a bit of seasoning with some salt so they're ready to go for our steak dinner. So you just want to grab your bowl, a little bit of kitchen towel, as I say, get 2 bits there or thereabouts. Just place it in the bowl, just like so they can just nicely dry off the chips once they're done. We'll just put that to one side. Our steak is going great guns. That's pretty much ready. So what we need to do now is rest our steak. Grab a little plate. Look at that. That is absolutely exactly what you need. And then we're going to pour over our butter, rosemary, thyme infusion elixir over the steak and set it down to rest over here, ready to be served. So we're going to rest our steak for pretty much the same amount of time that it's been cooking. It gives it a really nice relaxed texture and it's absolutely divine to tuck into. We're going to drop our chips now for the final 3 minutes, whacked up to 190 degrees, and then we're pretty much good to go. So our chips are ready. It's time to turn them out and give them a nice little seasoning. I'm going to take the lid off. Give them a little shake. Get rid of that excess on there and tip them into the bowl. Turn off our fryer. Bring this to the front and we are pretty much good to go. So we're going to season our chips with a little bit of sea salt. Always Portuguese sea salt. Absolutely divine. A little bit more. And give them a nice little toss in the bowl. It's absolutely wicked. They smell incredible as well. Cannot wait to get this inside. And now what we're going to do is grab our tomatoes out of the oven as well. These look absolutely incredible. So let's get our plate arranged. First in we go with our steak. The star of the show, in the blackened butter, absolutely divine. We get a couple of our tomatoes, just position them just nicely on the side. Maybe 3, I'm feeling a bit hungry. And then we go in with a little bit of blackened butter over the top. And then we got our chips as well. So we just grab a handful of chips. Put them on the plate as well. And there we have it. Right, let's get into the steak. Make sure she's cooked to perfection. Straight through the middle on this one. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. That is exactly as you want your steak. Let's go in. Absolutely divine. Steak and chips. Oh my God. That is off the chart. Maybe you can catch us, thirddegreefood.com. New videos coming each and every week. All just as incredible as this. Oh my goodness. Excuse me for talking with my mouth full. Getting for the chips. They are absolutely divine. I'm going to go for a little bit of tomato with one of the chips as well. Oh my goodness. So much flavour. Absolutely kicking full of flavour. Right, I'm going to go enjoy this with a delicious glass of Malbec. I've been Sam Caterer. This has been Third Degree Food. Maybe you can catch all our recipes, thirddegreefood.com. Give us a little like and subscribe down below. Give a little comment as well. Obviously, every comment is well taken on board. Cheers, enjoy, thank you very much.